There has been fan outrage after Velveteen Dream made his wrestling return. Elsewhere, we have an update on an injured AEW champion, and a shock AEW title match took place at an Indy event. It's all in the wrestling news. Hello everybody, Jack and Ross back again with the Monday morning wrestling news. A very controversial one to start off with, as Patrick Clark, better known from his time in WWE as Velveteen Dream, made his wrestling return this weekend for Dynasty, or Dynasty they would say, wrestling in Albany, New York. He interrupted the opening match and threw out an open challenge to anyone in the locker room, and then in the main event the challenge was answered by American Muscle Alec Odin, and Velveteen Dream picked up the win.
Yeah, interestingly, Dream was not announced to be a part of the show, so if you bought a ticket for that show, you had no choice whether you want to see Velveteen Dream or not, which I think was a very deliberate ploy on the part of Dynasty Wrestling, the set of arseholes. But they also named the show It Was All a Dream, hinting at an appearance by Velveteen Dream could happen, but you would be thinking it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, especially it's in the state of New York. It's a notorious B.I.G. lyric. It could just be fitting the theme.
I'll take your word for that.
It was all a dream.
Give us a little rendition.
Oh, it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. But also, actually, this is bizarrely badly timed as well. Once we get into this point coming up on the same show, Rita Chatterton, the WWE's first female referee, who made allegations against Vince McMahon way back in, the 80s or the 90s?
Yeah, in the 80s, yeah.
Was the special guest timekeeper for one of the matches. Now, obviously, she has no direct link with Velveteen Dream or anything like that, but you just expect, tonally, given the whole show and the fact that she's on it, it just seems all off kilter, doesn't it? It seems like a baffling decision.
A slap in the face to people in sort of her position and what she's been through in the past. To have someone like Velveteen Dream, who does have very serious allegations against his name, in the not too distant past as well, appear on the same card as her.
Yes, the return obviously was met with fan outrage online, many calling out Dynasty Wrestling for not only platforming somebody with these allegations, but for failing to advertise it in advance. As Ross mentioned, he wasn't advertised for the show. But then they sort of doubled down on Twitter as well.
Yeah, the day after they tweeted, "Last night we did what most others wouldn't." There might be a reason for that. We took a risk on a person and gave them an opportunity for a second chance to fulfill their dream. We stand by that decision. Thank you to the packed house for last night's event.
And there are some comments that support Velveteen Dream or support the promotion for giving him a second chance, but they seem very much in the minority compared to the comments that are very critical of the promotion. Several comments include, "You brought him out as a surprise appearance, knowing full well there would be people who would choose not to pay to attend if they knew he would be there. You might stand on this decision, but you weren't making eye contact while saying so."
That's the thing. If they were going to stand by that decision, make him front and center of the poster. If you're that far like on board of giving someone a second chance like that, make him the marquee, because I'm sure that's his dream as well, to be on the top of the marquee once again.
Another comment said, "Congrats on the most social traction you've ever gotten. You had to disregard the safety of survivors, current and potential, in order to do so." The tweet itself has received almost 400 replies, and they've since turned off comments, which I think is quite telling.
Yeah, a bit late now though.
A little bit. Elsewhere, in brighter news, a second generation star has made their WWE debut. It's Brogan Finley, the son of Fit Finley, making his debut over the weekend at an NXT live event in Tampa, Florida. And Ross, it was a very appropriate opponent.
It was Charlie Dempsey. Willy Wonka himself, the son of William Regal, so having two second generation superstars do the wrestling inside the wrestling ring. But Finley's got a potent set of bollocks on him. He's got Dave in New Japan, he's now got Brogan here, and Hornswoggle as well.
He's his own forbidden door.
He is.
He's just creating all the different corridors of the door. Finley failed to pick up the win against Charlie Dempsey, which you'd expect given that Dempsey's the slightly more established of the two, but apparently his debut was very well received by the live crowd, which is very nice to hear.
Yeah.
Good luck to him. We also have an update on an injured AEW champion. It was reported back on Friday that the TBS champion, Julia Hart, was out of action with an undisclosed injury. Ross, Fightful Select have a bit more on that.
Yeah, Fightful is saying when asking about Julia Hart getting cleared, we're told the AEW doesn't expect it to be long-term injury, but she likely wouldn't be cleared in February. We did see her very recently, I think it was on last week's shows, wasn't it? Just accompanying Sky Blue at the top of the ramp, but not really getting involved in the matches themselves. So it's not too bad. Could be worse.
Yes, I guess the fact that they haven't referenced the injury in a storyline or anything means that they're just going to possibly wait it out. They're not going to vacate the belt or anything, which they only seem to do for longer when it's unavoidable. Really. Yeah. So fair enough. Yeah. And best wishes to Julia Hart. Hopefully she gets better very soon. It sounds like she will. In other AEW news, The other night, RevPro presented High Stakes, one of their biggest shows ever at Crystal Palace in that London. And we had a surprise, not only a surprise appearance from an AEW wrestler, but a surprise match for an AEW title.
Yeah, the show opened with a 6-way scramble that turned out to be a 7-way scramble for the AEW Dramatic Pause International Championship, with Orange Cassidy making a surprise appearance as the final entrant for the match, putting his title on the line. Of course, we saw those pictures over the weekend, Saturday afternoon at Craven Cottage. Fulham getting defeated 2-1 at home by Aston Villa. Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin. Tony Khan sat in front of them, looked like having a great time watching the team that his dad owns, and he is heavily involved with the running of. But also, Orange and Derby looked really bored.
They're not fans of the soccer. You could absolutely tell from that image. Although some people were saying maybe Orange Cassidy was in character.
Potentially, yeah.
I guess you can get away with
bored,
it. Yeah, he might have been bored. But anyway, back to the RevPro show, High Stakes, which was absolutely loaded with international stars from almost every major promotion. New Japan had Shingo Takagi and Zack Sabre Jr. in attendance. We had ex-WWE superstar Mustafa Ali, who's now doing bits in TNA. Now he said Impact
Was this
Wrestling.
The match where he was wrestling a bald man?
I don't know.
And the bald man was like, I can do anything you can do. And then Ali just went, hair flip.
Oh,
classic.
AEW's Anthony Ogogo, friend of Ross. Well, I was going to say friend of the channel, friend of Ross Sweddle.
He lives at my home.
Yes. And TNA stars Trent Seven and Danny Luna, the RevPro British Women's Champion. They are obviously Trent Seven heavily involved in RevPro as well over the years. They were all in action, and the show was headlined by Will Ospreay versus Michael Oku for the British Heavyweight Championship in what would be Ospreay's farewell match to the independent scene.
Oku defeated Ospreay in a match that went just shy of 1 hour. 1
hour.
My goodness me.
Yes, absolutely. You can't escape the master of the half crab. That's Michael Oku's. He's a Newcastle fan as well, did you know? Yeah. Dave Meltzer was a massive fan of the match as well. He said their match 2 years ago was the best storytelling match I've seen in many years. This match was far better than that, and it's available.
I don't know where to take Dave Meltzer's word anymore after what he said about the NXT card very recently.
What did he say? Oh, yeah, he was just a bit underwhelmed by it.
He didn't like Baron Corbin, the best work of his career.
Yeah,
he gave that main event like 3.5 stars or something. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible reviewing from David Meltzer in his opinion.
But I will have to check out that match because it sounds like a major one. You can find it at RevPro's on-demand service. I've seen the match he's referring to, the old one. And it was very dramatic, but it wasn't an hour long. So they've gone even more dramatic, apparently.
Fair play.
Fair enough. So that is it for the first edition of the Monday Wrestling News. Hopefully, as and when more news breaks, we'll be back with it all on this very YouTube channel. Also, stay tuned to the channel this week for our coverage and build up to Elimination Chamber from Perth, Australia.
Perth. Yeah, we'll have the pitches for Perth, and then we'll have predictions for Perth, and then we'll have live reactions also on the YouTube channel.
Yes. Are you doing WTF Moments?
Yes, that'll be live on Saturday evening time, UK time, which is nice because we get to watch it at 10 a.m. in the morning.
It's unbelievable scenes. And also what happened out, I'll be doing that, which will go out pretty soon after the event, hopefully, as well.
But also yesterday, check out what, Jack? Push! Bench, repackage.
I said bury there. Bench, push, bench.
Same thing.
Repackage.
That's not really, but yeah, we just take the wrestlers who wrestle for the WWE and just say what we would do with them in 2024. Push, bench, or repackage. Sorry, I've just hit the microphone there.
Fantastic scenes. Thank you very much for watching. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments section down below, and we'll see you very soon.